already late. It was like, no. I
Yeah.
can just come. We'll just be at the lounge. We'll just be at the pool area.
Man.
We can just,
That one is
just
a lion
have
spirit.
Listen, and then I was like, no, I'm tired. I want to go in.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you. It was that. And that was just it.
Yeah.
After that time, he never called again.
Of
We
course.
never spoke again
He
after that time.
experienced a diminishing return.
So I'm just saying, like, first of all, I talked
Yeah.
to you about it, and God helped me. I was able to like use wisdom and.
So today I want us to talk about compliments, right?
Mm-hmm.
Compliments. I remember yesterday we're driving somewhere where you had a meeting, and the security, it was more of like a government building, an institutional building. So the security guy there, I'm taking my wife to this meeting. Then he now looks at you and he gives you a compliment. And I could see the smile on your face. Like,
Yeah?
yes, now you smiled, but you did not know that you were smiling.
I'm not aware.
So I want to ask this question.
Mm-hmm.
When another man gives a married woman a compliment, when the woman receives it with so much cheer and joyfulness, can she be blamed for it? One, should we blame the man that gave another person's wife a compliment, or should we blame the woman's husband that has not made complimenting his wife like commonplace in the home? Because sometimes you might just say, you give a woman a compliment. You can tell women that are used to compliments and women that are not. And because I feel that if compliments are like commonplace in your home, like if you receive it outside, you might not be head over heels around the compliments, and maybe the way you react to the compliment might be, you might just be civil about it. But imagine giving a married woman a compliment and she's like, she has never heard this kind of very sweet or nice words before and all that. But what's your take about a married woman enjoying, expecting, gravitating towards, fantasizing about the reception of compliments?
Fantasizing about the reception of compliments, or fantasizing about the compliments or the reception. Okay.
Yeah.
I will say that there are levels to compliments.
Oh, wow.
And the reception of compliments differ.
Okay.
Based on who is giving the compliments.
Yes.
And what the propensity of the woman's would I say affection or whatever is heading towards. So there are also healthy compliments, and there are compliments that may not be healthy or may be suggestive.
Okay.
So
can you give me an example of a suggestive compliment?
When someone compliments in an innuendic way, with an innuendo, it's suggestive of something else.
Okay.
But when it's plain, it's nice, it's okay. But I'll tell you that it's really not about the compliment most times. I would say, maybe as a woman, I may not be speaking for lots of women.
Yeah.
But it's about who is giving the compliment. As you said, the people that were giving the compliments were doing their job.
Yeah.
They were like the security people doing like their jobs, ensuring that the cars entering that place were secure, were like safe to go into the zone and all that. So, like, they were just being cheerful. To me, they were just being cheerful.
Being very cheerful.
They were being cheerful, and
actually they were.
It was like I didn't even pick it. You were the one that was, by the time you were driving away, you now said, and see how they are complimenting another man's wife or something like that. But I didn't even pick it because I was doing something, or I don't know.
Would you?
But
go ahead.
But that is why it's good for spouses to communicate, and for spouses to know the type that their spouses are easily attracted to. For example, if I know that, or let me not use me, if a woman knows that her husband, for example, is attracted to busty ladies that are fair.
Okay.
If a busty lady that is fair, no matter how she's so humble and oh, you are just like a papa to me, and I love your ministry, sir. You have just been a blessing to me. Now she might be saying it from a genuine place. And you too, you might be responding, oh, yeah, thank you. But as your wife, I know that you like fair, busty girls.
That's in the illustration that you're
in the illustration. So immediately I see that, assuming she follows up with, I just want to be mentored by you. I want to serve you. I want to give my all to you. I want you to stabilize me in areas where I may be falling or tripping. I already know that it's a temptation, might be a trigger. So if we communicate easily, it's something that maybe once we live there, we can even joke about it like, I'm not mentoring this one. It's like I will push her to your side, or I will send her to pastor another person, or I'll send her to this, or maybe I can handle it like this, and we can discuss it, and it's this thing, because I already know what the person can fall for. But if we are not communicating, and it's a secret desire that you have not communicated to your spouse, that I've not told my wife ever, but somehow if I see a girl that is fair and busty, it's hard for me to control myself. But you've never told your spouse. Now you are in a place, a fair girl, but maybe it's even your wife that goes to bring like a help to the house, like a house, like someone to assist with house chores, a home assistant. And then this home assistant now is coming, and she has a pure heart. Everybody has a pure heart. Oh, sweetheart, we just brought somebody. She's going to be here to help us. And lo and behold, the person is that spec, fair and busty, but because the man has not communicated to the woman does not even know. But the third part of this is, they will say, or the Bible will say, or Christians will say, in a spirit-controlled family where people are Christians and the Spirit of God is in charge, whether it's somebody's weakness or not, God will take control. But at least it would be good if your spouse knows that maybe when I was in the world, this was what was a trigger for me. Because sometimes you see that what people actually fall for at the end is something that they were already used to before, that was a comfort zone. And then in their time of weakness, they now fall for it. Now, bringing it to the woman's side, I would say that if somebody that is not my spec, even when I was single and I was not married, if someone that is not my spec compliments me from now to tomorrow or something, I just receive it from a brother. It does not, I don't think about it. I don't reminisce. I don't remember it. It's gone. As it came, it left like that. But if somebody that is your spec compliments you, that is when your brain will continue replaying it over and over and over and over. So what I think we should be more concerned about is this person that is doing this compliment, maybe once, or maybe somebody is now complimenting your wife always. Is the person your wife's spec? If the person is not your wife's spec, there's nothing to be bothered about. But if the person is your wife's spec, then you might need to have a conversation with your wife. But after the conversation, what do you do next? Will you go and tell the person, stop complimenting my wife? Or is it the woman that will say, stop complimenting me? Or will two of you just grow up and find a way around it? There are several things that come to mind.
You know, there was something you said. You said something that sounded almost like the positioning of the person that is giving the compliment.
Okay.
So those guys now, they're like security guys. They were doing their job, right? What is the difference between a security personnel complimenting you lavishly and maybe a man who has power, who has resources, and who has position complimenting you, like complimenting a married woman in that context? Like, is there a difference, you know, because the power relationship between the two kinds of men is different. Imagine that powerful man, rich man, wealthy, you know, societally positioned, always doling out compliments, you understand? And you say, my boss complimented me today. He's not necessarily used to complimenting me, like this. Okay, tomorrow he complimented me. Next tomorrow, he gave me several compliments. He even added lunch to it. But this guy who is at the gate, for example, may also be issuing out compliments that you don't even think about. So I'm trying to find out that does the power position of a man giving out compliments to a woman, does it matter in the scheme of things in relation to how women respond to compliments from the opposite sex?
I would say several things can affect reception of compliments.
Yeah.
So the place where the woman is, for example, if a woman is in a place where she's needy or she needs things, somebody that is in possession of what she may need, if that person begins to show interest, she may easily fall for it. However, if someone is at the gate and the person is complimenting, I think women can fall for something when it's consistent.
They can fall for anything.
For anything.
Are you for real?
If it is consistent. If it is consistent and they are missing it somewhere else. So, for example...
Irrespective of the positioning.
Irrespective of the position.
Wow.
For example, let's assume that there is a woman who maybe is not married or is married, I don't know. Maybe there's a deficiency where she's coming from, where she's not receiving compliments. She doesn't really know her value again. Maybe something has happened that has robbed her of her self-esteem and all that. And then there's somebody that is constantly affirming her, even if it's at the gate. Because there's sometimes that you have graduates that may just be at the gate, working just to survive. Not that is where they are supposed to be, but they are trying to make meaning out of what they are doing.
You've qualified that position again now. Okay,
yeah, so what I'm trying to bring it into now is a likely spec.
Okay.
Because if somebody is not your spec, they say, no matter how the person compliments, you would not find that person attractive. But if somebody is... Maybe it's a grad. So I'm trying to qualify it now. Maybe the person is a graduate. The person did not get a job. The person saw a ministry that was employing securities, and the person decided to be a security in the ministry. But even as the person is is at the gate, the person is distinguished in the sense that the person is neat. The person has a good carved beard. The person has hair. The person is dressing well. The person is and the person is physically fit. The person is speaking well. The person has courtesy. The person is like, oh, hello.
That one is no longer a gate man now.
You're welcome. And the person is obviously different from the other people. The person has distinguished himself. And the person is always complimenting you, helping you to repark your car or something. The person is always, oh my, you look so good today.
Is now another level of proximity.
Yeah, the person is going the extra mile to be nice. Oh, maybe something happens one day and your phone fell, and he picked it up and he's like, oh, sorry, your phone fell, and he's giving you, and he sees your screen saver that maybe he just saw OAU. It's like, you went to OAU. Oh my God, I'm also an alumni of...
They're like similarities.
They are now... I'm also...
So you're trying to build a story of
I'm also,
complimenting and,
I'm also an alumni of OAU. Oh, are you serious? We should meet up sometime. Great Ife. Or something like that. I don't know if OAU is Great Ife. Is it Great Ife?
I think Obafemi Awolowo it should be Ife.
Is it Ife? I don't know. Great. Oh, great. Oh, let's find time to... I'm going to hold you on your word. Oh, no, it's fine. Thank you. And then she goes, you understand?
Yeah.
And then maybe she's with a man that she has had OAU on her banner and he has never even noticed.
He doesn't even know what OAU is.
He has never seen OAU. Or maybe it's even a single person. He has never seen OAU. Another day again, she drives. Oh, hey, how you doing? Remember that we said we are going to meet up. Okay, I think that I will be free sometime next week on this date. We can exchange contacts.
Yeah.
You exchange contacts. And
remember,
you decide,
it's a married woman that we're talking about.
And you decide that you're going to meet next week Saturday.
Yeah.
But in between today and next week Saturday, the girl always updates her status, WhatsApp status, and then the guy in the evening he'll just be like, "Wow, And he's no more calling her madam. Now it's now hi Sherry. Maybe her name is Sherry.
Yeah.
Hi Sherry, this your DP is so good. Did you by any chance run for Miss OAU while you were in school? Because I don't know how the school would have missed such a beautiful queen like you. No, don't be silly. No, I didn't run for it. Oh, OAU missed an angel. Wow. Or you missed a queen. You understand? Wow. And he's just complimenting like that.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, he's just like, one day she just calls that, you have been so kind, you have been so, the way you talk, the way you, what is even your qualification? Aside from this, have you done any other thing? Yes, I even ran several certification courses, but as a responsible citizen, I've decided to continue. And she's like, oh, send your CV to me. And then they meet up on the Saturday, they are talking, they say, you also play the guitar. Oh my God. Wow. And I play the keyboard.
Now be doing guitar lessons from back.
And I play the keyboard.
Oh, you're not holding the guitar well. Let me show you. You stay in front. Let me stay behind and help you with the guitar.
And I also play the keyboard. Oh, and you can sing. Oh, let's start. And before you know, things are happening. So it's not like she saw him the first day and she said, oh, I want to. Yeah. But that over time as a girl, you see I've painted a story. Yeah. That's just it for the girl and for the guy and the girl, and they've moved. But for the power person that you're talking about, if the power person falls in your spec, it's easier. But if you're in a place where you are needy and you need what the power person has, the powerful person has, you may not even, it may not be about falling for the person. It might just be about getting something that you need at that time. So I would say that for women, communication is very important. So it's important who has the ear of your wife. Yeah.
Who has your wife's ear? But really, that woman that you've painted, at what point should she have said, okay, I think I might need to just talk to my husband about this?
Okay, so you're assuming that she's married?
Yeah, I'm assuming that the woman is married. Yeah, because I once worked in a place that was notorious for even married women falling into sexual temptation. Like a place that had a lot of powerful men. So you would hear stories of, this is an office gig that they run in some of those kinds of places. There are no guardrails. So those kinds of, I believe that, complimenting women is more like a very first step in building up that whole curiosity. And when that complimentation, or when those compliments, when the compliments are now rising to a crescendo point and all of that, and women's defenses now appear to not be as foundational as it ought to be, especially now that we are talking about married women. At what point should a woman say, oh, I think I have become vulnerable, to this point? Is it the right time to see how I can talk to my significant other about this so that I don't move across, So when is it the right time to really bring your partner in on what's really happening as a result of the effect of consistent compliments that a woman is receiving from, third-party men?
Okay, so I would give an example. First of all, I will not even go to... So I remember that there was somebody I met one time, and he was talking to me, he was talking about his family, I was talking about my family, and we were just both talking. And then he asked me, what do you do for recreation? How often do you travel? And at that time, I had not traveled to anywhere. So I was like, no, I haven't traveled. Recreation, sometimes we go out and all, but we're okay, we're good. And he just told me, he said, you need to travel. I think that you need to travel. Have you seen this country? I think you would. And he was beginning to paint pictures of countries I can travel to, and how I can, and how the experience
I can already unravel that model.
Will be in those countries. And after he was talking about those things, then he started talking about his wife and how things were not going so well and everything. And immediately I started sensing what was going on. It was already late in the night and it was like a team meeting. So we're all like, and we're just not, but like he was not part of a team, but he was part of people on the table. And he was wealthy. He paid for everything. Everybody ate there and everything like that. So after we were rounding up, he was now like, I shouldn't worry that his driver, that he's calling his driver, that they will drive me to the hotel.
Yeah.
So I already knew, because there's some, once these things start and the conversation starts going, even though the person has not said anything,
you can almost tell.
Something, that inner witness will tell you.
Yeah.
So in my mind, I knew that, because it was like, it was going to be like a driver, then two of us would be at the back alone. It was already like, it was already late. So I was now like, no, don't worry. So I started ordering my boat. No, I've already called the driver. Driver can take us. It's not, this thing, your hotel is not far. We can take you. I said, no, don't worry. I started ordering my bolt. Even when I ordered the bolt and the bolt came, he said, you can still tell this driver to go. I can still take you. And I was like, no, don't worry. Thank you so much for your this. And that was how I entered the taxi. When I entered the taxi, I remember that by the time I got to the hotel, I called you. I was like, see you, there's this person. I called you because I knew that this was what happened. And I started talking to you. While I was talking to you, I think he called. And I picked up. Then I was like, okay, let me pick his call. Maybe he's calling to say, have you gotten safely and everything. When I picked the call, he was like, can I come to the hotel? We can just meet at the lounge, at the pool area, just to still continue our conversation. I was like, no, it's already late. He was like, no. I can just come. We'll just be at the lounge. We'll just be at the pool area. Man. We can just,
that one is
just
a lion spirit.
Listen. And then I was like, no, I'm tired. I want to go in. Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you. It was that. And that was just it. Yeah. After that time, he never called again. We never spoke again after that time.
A diminishing return.
So I'm just saying, like, first of all, I talked to you about it, and God helped me. I was able to like use wisdom and this thing. Maybe somebody might say, oh, why were you not direct to just say, I'm not interested, leave me alone, don't come, I'm a married woman. He already knew I was married. He was just trying and all that. So that was what I did. Yeah, so I would say that for that particular one, I mentioned it to you, maybe because he was not my spec.
Okay.
Because the truth is,
that means if
he was actually,
you may not have.
No, I'm trying to be sincere and I'm trying to be frank, even as I'm talking to people and they're listening.
Yeah.
The truth is, he was actually not my spec. He had money and he had possible connection, because he was telling me, oh, we are coming, like the government, we have powers, we have connection in this. And yes, my mind was telling me he might be able to introduce you to some key people in government and all that. You understand? But physically, he was not my spec. Now I'm talking about someone that is powerful, right?
Yeah.
Now, but imagine if somebody like that, who had painted all that kind of picture to me, was now my spec.
Yeah.
It may have been difficult for me to bring it up to you, because I'll be trying to rationalize it. Okay, is there this? So sometimes it's harder to communicate those kind of things to our spouses when the person is actually our spec. We may want to just enjoy it a little longer, especially if we are lacking that at home. I remember that I was discussing with somebody that I was dating before. Yeah. And at that time, I remember then he was more of like a guy's guy kind of person. They were like boys. He had male friends, more of male friends. But I think he had maybe one or two people that were trying to pop up as new female friends. So at some point I was asking, like, maybe he will mention, and I was like, but this person is complimenting you, trying to assist you in your dreams and vision. Yeah. Are you sure? And he was quite frank one day. He told me, he said, the truth is, I understand what you're saying, but sometimes you just want to enjoy that flirting. Like, you just want, there's some times that you just like, oh my God, like that means somebody is finding me attractive. It's like I'm saying something that somebody, for example, for the past 1 week, you have been trying to share a dream that you have with me, like something you're seeing about yourself in the future. And I've been quite supportive and also giving you both the ups and the downs, telling you, okay, I think like this, I think like this, I think like this. Now, for a man who is at this point telling his wife, okay, this, and you are very passionate about it, because I know that you've been researching, talking about it, bringing it up, I know. But for me, I have been giving you, okay, this is the support, and this is where I think you need to weigh it and all that. And me, I'm talking to you based on what I've experienced with you for the past 10 years and what I think my advice can be. Now, if you meet someone else who maybe you are just somewhere and you just bring this thing up, and the person is like, oh my God, I'm fired up. I think this can work. Let me call these 3 people. I think it will work. This one person is calling you in the night. Oh, let's do this. Let's do this. Like, the person is like, you can do this. You can do. Before you know, even though you are falling, you may not want to divulge everything to your wife because you're like, somebody is really seeing this. Then the glow in your eyes starts. Before you know, you are glowing. But it's just because somebody else is feeling a deep need that you really want to be activated. So I'm saying that even though spouses may want to communicate, there are sometimes that is a bit gray in the sense that this is a genuine need that you want to be filled, a genuine gap that you have. And it's possible that your spouse may not be feeling it the way you want it filled. And then this person is stepping up to it. And you are like, for the past maybe 5-10 years, this is the first time that I really have a spark of life, of vigor and everything. And the only person getting it is this girl. And even though I know that I do not want to do anything, but I do not want to lose this fire that I've seen.
I want to ask a question. It's just a follow-up question. This gray area that you are talking about, this gray area of, it's like a light bulb feeling, like it's an anticipation, because whether you like it or not, that gray area is like, I think I'm loving this. I think something could come out of this. Like our minds, the way our minds work, the mind has already taken you to the end game, even from the beginning. The mind travels that far. Can we call that gray area an act of infidelity or disloyalty?
I won't call it infidelity.
Yes.
Because at that point, the person may not even be thinking about anything sexual.
Okay, it's just...
So you're saying now, for example now,
no, I'm just saying the euphoria.
I'm still using like that analogy of the vision that you shared with me.
Yeah.
Now imagine that maybe you went for a conference.
Yeah.
And it was lunchtime. You went for lunch.
Yeah. And
then there's somebody there, and maybe you are talking about this thing. And I know how you get excited sometimes. You're talking about, and your voice is getting loud. And as you are saying it, the person is getting it. And as before you leave that table, the person has called three people.
Yeah.
One person, three people, I think this can work, I think this can work, I think this can work. And the person is, and you're like, I think something can come out of this. Finally, there's something coming out of it. You're not thinking of infidelity.
Yeah.
You're just like, I think this can work. Maybe you're thinking, I can register a company with her. We can have, we can be shareholders. We can be partners. You are thinking of other things. You're not thinking of sexual, falling into adultery or anything like that. At that point, it's not yet a sin. You are just in that excitement. Yes. So assuming you bring that excitement now, and you tell your wife that, oh my God, I went for this conference and I met this lady. And do you know that right there on the table, she called 3 people, one National Assembly, one in this, and she called maybe Tony Olumelu. Oh my God, I couldn't even believe it. And he said that he would pay for me to fly and go and meet him. I'm so excited. And I'm like, oh my God, this. And I'm like, oh, who is she? Like, oh my God, you met somebody. And then you open her page and like, see her, and I'm like, oh my God, oh. And immediately I'm like, Jesus, this babe is fine. and the girl is young. And I look at her finger, she's single. And I'm like, Jesus. And I don't want to dampen your spirit.
Yeah.
And I don't want to act jealous. I'm like, okay, so she said that we need to have 2 strategic meetings. We need to have 2 strategic meetings before we meet with Tonelumelu next week. So I've been asking her, and she says that she has to be at work, hard time, 9 a.m. to 6 o'clock, and she's only free 7 p.m. And we may need to meet. Maybe the first day we can meet virtually or physically, and then we can meet virtually just to plan. And I'm like, okay. So where she already has a membership in Transcorp, so she said that she would be sleeping. She would be up, so we can use the lounge or the boardroom area or whatever it is in lounge. So I can go there and I'm like, and I'm still in that place of, okay, let me not kill his dream. Okay, this one. And then he dresses up. And for the first time in I'm seeing the spark, he's having his bath, he's whistling. He's like, let me shave. And then he's shaving. And all of a sudden he's like, should I wear this? Should I wear it? I'm like, why are you thinking about what you should wear for a meeting? It's not with this lady. Why is it? And like, no, it's not like that. Babe, don't be jealous now. I'm just excited about the dream coming to pass. You understand? And then I'm like, okay. And then you dress up. Then you now go. And for the first time, you're like, oh my God, we don't even have perfume. I'm like, but we've not had perfume for the past 1 year. How come now you're thinking about perfume? Say, no, it's because of the environment. In that environment, everybody wears perfume and everything like that. Okay, and everything. And then you go for it. At that point, I'm beginning to see the excitement. And it's not about sex. It's just about your vision.
So that excitement, are you saying is a right kind of excitement? Are you endorsing excitement at that level?
At that point, as a wife, I'm happy for you, but I'm having that tingling. Concerned. I'm also concerned. But the thing is, I cannot now use my concern to like dim the excitement that you are feeling. And that's why I need to tell people that, can you be secure enough to see your partner shine and rise, even though you are not in the picture? Now, that is one. But now, the issue is not on me, who is the spouse. It's now on you, because you're now going for the meeting and everything. And maybe everything is going well. You're the one that know when a line wants to be crossed. Yeah. I'm not there. You're the one that is going for the meeting. You're the one that is seeing what's happening. And at the point where it's possible she too is just having that thing and everything is going well. But if a line is to be crossed, maybe she's talking to you and something happens, maybe her zip opens or something, and then there's and she's like, oh my God, my zip. And you're like, oh, is there any way I can assist you? And she's like, oh my God, can you just help me? Because I need to get to the lift, and if I stand up, my zip will open. Can you just hold me? Just to help me hold it so that we can go, and once I get to my door, I can change. You understand? Because of what happened and everything.
I must be the cloud.
And then you're like, oh, okay. You're now thinking, I'm a married man. Okay, can I? Well, and you don't want to be disrespectful because she has been very helpful. Okay. Let me quickly put our laptops closed. Let me quickly close the laptops, and then let me see what I can do. You close your laptop, and she's like, okay, just help me. Is this a part here? Please help me to just hold so that it can close. And then you follow her. You people go into the lift. In your mind, you're like, oh my God, this one. What if somebody sees me? I'm not the, oh Jesus, help me. And you're just holding to help her. And then she gets to her lift. She opens. She's like, okay, here is my room. Thank you very much. Do you want to have coffee while I wait or something like that? You're like, no, don't worry, let me wait. But inside you, while the lift was going up, you were already sensing some kind of, you know, that's how when a film is going, the music change. You're already sensing it, you know. By the time she changes, she might now, maybe before she was dressed in suit, she just changes to like a spaghetti and a short, and she just comes and says, I'm so sorry. I did not plan to be like this for an official meeting. But as you saw, what I wore spoiled, and my other things, I've sent them to the laundry. And then, but we still need to complete this meeting 2 hours, and the spaghetti, all her boobs are out. The tension is high, blood is rising, everything is hot.
Hallelujah.
You understand? And then
that's when you shout the name Jesus.
And then you're just having the meeting, but like your eyes is going from her eye to her lips, to her boobs, back to her eyes, and you are just engaging like that. And then you feel here like, thank you so much. And you are able to make it through that day.
That's pepper soup.
Back to your house.
Like
now, will you have that conversation with your wife that, see what happened, I had to hold her and my eyes was moving from her eyes to her lips to her boobs? You might not have that conversation. Now it's between you and God to now say, should I go for the second meeting when I know that there was a tangible, not to say there was a tangible presence of God in the room. There was a tangible chemistry between two of you. At the initial point, there was no chemistry, but now there is chemistry. So what do you do at that point?
Is that a question for me?
Yes, that's a question for you. Because I used the analogy.
The truth is, every man thinks, or most men think they can handle it until they can't handle it. For most men, that's like a challenge to show that woman that
Elik, that I used to watch, he said, you think you are the hunter, but you are the bushmeat.
A challenge to show that woman that I got Jesus, I got self-control.
Okay.
I know who I am in Christ. Like that, some men can see that way, like, this is a challenge. After all, Joseph was in more precarious situations. I've not yet gotten to the point of running. Then it now looks like a trophy of survival, or a trophy of domination over that particular issue. But the reality is that if you're in that kind of a situation, for men, even me now, if I'm in that kind of a situation, and I know that I've not recovered from that experience, then I already know it's if I go again, I might be conquered. Do you understand? But like I said, most men will say, okay, you've not been conquered yet, and you know who you are in Christ, you cannot be conquered. They will try to go for that second meeting. Just to see how some men, is just for the glory of, I was able to conquer sin. But the truth is that the way sin wraps itself, around us much of the time is through the thoughts that we process the most. And don't forget that the woman may already have had everything all planned out. She's just waiting for you to make a move, and the execution is already been decided. It's just like maybe a man wants to maybe kiss a woman that is not his wife. And the woman is like, oh, don't kiss me. She pushes him the first time. He strokes her hair backward. She pushes him away the second time. Why do you need to wait for a second push as a woman? And a man is already, he has breached all your defenses. He's right in front of you. And you think just tossing him a little, and that tossing is on his chest or the breastplate of his body. You are tossed, move back. Then he's still coming on forward. You don't need to push the second. You need to just use Joseph style. You run. You just see how you can get away from that whole place. Because once the first lip touch happens, you may no longer be in control of yourself, So I would just say that sometimes compliments have been the pathway for a lot of people's marriages, to go southward, like marriages have fallen apart as a result of compliments. So it's just very important, and people know, and the way the Holy Spirit works, really, most of the time, you will know. He will give you this signal that this particular thing that wants to happen, this is where this is the direction that this thing is actually headed, and you now have to make that decision. Holy Ghost is not going to now slap you or push you away. He's trusting you that all the Bible study that you've had to do as a child growing up, all the experiences about God that you've had as an individual, that is when you are supposed to like really show that you know what you are doing, by necessarily not shoving the person off, but knowing when to excuse yourself. So I wanted to just I wrote this question. I wrote this question down, and I just want to ask, and I'm just thinking, should a husband be the primary source of compliments for his wife?
No, I don't think so.
a husband should not be the primary source of compliments.
No, he should be primary, but he should not be the only source. Yes. So first of all, I think as a Christian,
yes,
you get your identity from the word of God.
Yeah.
What God has said concerning you, which is the first compliment. Then there is a compliment from your spouse. There are compliments from your parents, your siblings, your children. There are compliments from your friends, outsiders. There are sometimes that you're just going, people compliment you.
Yeah.
And but yes, your spouse should be a major, should actually be the primary, should like be the center of most of the compliments that you receive should actually come from your spouse. I agree.
Okay, then the other thing I would like to say is if we are talking of the hypothetical man and the hypothetical woman, husband and wife. If a husband tells his wife, I don't like the way this person is pushing on the throttle, like he's throttling down, complimenting you over and over again. I'm not enjoying this anymore. Would you say the man is concerned, or would you say the husband is insecure? Because sometimes, women can easily say, oh, you are just being insecure. It's just out of insecurity. You also compliment people. Now I'm receiving compliments. You don't want me to receive compliments. Like, how do we really balance this? Somebody being uncomfortable and telling his wife, and the wife's like, oh, you are insecure. You are insecure.
I think that the feelings of our spouses should
matter, right?
Yes, it should actually matter. So even if the person that's complimenting you doesn't have anything, but you see that your spouse is concerned,
yes,
at least you should communicate about it.
Okay.
Just have like that communication, like, what is the issue? Why do you think this compliment should not?
Yeah.
Why are you not comfortable with the compliment? What is it? And just have like that initial conversation. If after the conversation there's still that agitation and your spouse feels, then the thing is, who is this compliment coming from? If the compliment is coming from somebody in your office, the compliments, you have to go to work every day.
Yeah.
So that means you will still meet the person.
Mm-hmm.
Except they transfer you or you leave the office, you will still be getting that compliment. So what exactly can you do at that point? Maybe the person can now, for the sake of their spouse, try to reduce the interaction to an extent.
Yeah.
Try to say, okay, let us just do like the formal, office work. Yes. But after that, those extra lunch time, dinner, all those things that may come up as a result of work. Because I know that there's sometimes that you may be in an office where once it's time for lunch, people go together. And you may now try to see how you can try to reduce some of those things to see that at least you bring some form of peace to your spouse. But if it's unfounded and it's something that is now reoccurring and you think is not healthy and you are sure that there is nothing, then if there is a mentor, somebody that you and your spouse is accountable to, you can then take that issue to them and let somebody who is older or as a mentor
more experience,
with more experience come into the issue and help both of you.
Yeah.
Maybe if another person tells him that I've spoken to your wife and I don't think there's anything, I think you're being unreasonable because this has happened several times. Can you work with me for the next 1 year? Let us work on your self-esteem, your fears, and whatever thing that we think may be the issue. That can be politely done by the mentor that you've submitted yourself to. But if as a wife, you now tell your husband, you have low self-esteem, you are too this one, you don't even... It would now be like you are insulting him and you are not acknowledging what he's feeling.
Or you can better off say, I'm not going to share anybody complimenting me, even stroking my hair, touching my wig,
I will just keep it to myself.
Eyelashes, I will just keep it to myself. I will remain in disloyalty. For me, I just feel that there's a level to which compliments get to. If either party begins to keep that compliment, in a compartment in their heart, without necessarily talking about it or sharing it, you know. For me, it's just let's say infidelity is 10 steps. The person has already stepped on step 1.
Okay.
And for me, that's disloyalty, you know. I don't know how other people might see it, but I feel that if you begin to brood over compliments, you're a married person, you are brooding over compliments that you are not proud to share. You just keep it somewhere in your mind and you are regurgitating on it and you are feeling so good about it. You are always waiting for the next compliment. I feel you have already fallen into the web of infidelity. You may not have had sex yet, but you are on level 1. Level 1, disloyalty.
Okay.
You know, that's where you are. But I will share a story. This happened to a lawyer friend. I wouldn't call him a friend because I think he's maybe like 6 years, about 5-6 years above my own call date and all that. So he's like my senior colleague. His story was very simple. He checked into a law firm somewhere in Abuja and his boss was a very beautiful lady. She was single at the time. He was already married. He had just gotten married. And if you see this guy, he's tall, he's handsome, wonderful voice, spotless personality, Christian dude. Like, you would already feel the exuberance of grace around him. Like when you meet him, he was that kind of a guy. And his senior partner in the law firm, or the oga of the law firm, was a lady, classy lady and all of that. And their first interaction was formal. Consequences, additional interactions that he had were now becoming a bit less formal. And one day the lady just blots out to the guy that she likes him. I like you. I like you. I need you to provide some services in my direction. Provide some services to my person. I need to be personal with me. You know, he didn't initially know what to do, but it got to a point where he knew that if he stepped into the office the next day, he was going to even have all of that with her in the office. What did this guy do? The next day, he tells his wife, okay, oh, this is what's going on, blah, blah, blah. I don't know how else to deal with this issue. You know, some of all these upcoming law firms, not maybe like 3-room law firm, other juniors are in one office, nobody dares enter the boss's office. Anything can go down there in a couple of minutes. And he writes his resignation. His story, which he shared in an event I attended, he was like, for the next 3 months in Abuja here, he was doing public transportation business as a lawyer of many years, you know, called and all of that, just to be able to make ends meet. So sometimes some people will say, if I want to manage the relationship, I want to manage it and see how it will go, maybe I will be careful enough not to get to that point, but I'll be able to get other blessings or other perks or other enjoyment out of this entire thing without necessarily saying I want to sleep with this person. And those people, most of the time, they end up in that same thing that they are thinking that they cannot necessarily. But I'm trying to just highlight that story because some people have made that decision and say, okay, to hell with this job. Who the hell does this woman think? Because you think you're a woman, you have money, you have everything going for you. That means I must sleep with you because you are beautiful, you are this, you are that. Who are you? I know who I am. You know, people have taken it that far. They resign their jobs. And I'm not saying if it were in a more structured organization where you can make like all those sexual harassment complaints and all of those things, you know, it would have been a whole lot better. But sometimes you may just have to quit that particular environment to save your marriage. And quitting sometimes would not be easy, like in this guy's story. For him to now fend for his family, he had to be running transportation business. He would go to court. After his session, put his wig inside his bag, lock it in his boot. He would start running, maybe Wuse to Zuba, you know, all of that to be able to also support his family and all of that. So these things, most times that we call compliments, sometimes at the end of the road, it may have very severe consequences if not necessarily properly managed. And I feel that this podcast that we've had today is just to call people's attention to some of the things that appear to be a blessing. You know, when somebody say, you're handsome. And I feel I feel that women receive more compliments. So over time, they've been able to manage compliments properly. But for a lot of men that maybe in a year, if a wife does not tell her husband your shirt is nice, he may not hear it outside. So imagine a lady walks up to a guy now and says, oh my God, you look so handsome. I love your blaze. I love this. I love this. I love that. Like it's like something that is so strange. If somebody were to compliment me in that manner, I'll be like, oh my God, really? I'll be like, is it me that this person is really saying? Because I've necessarily not heard much of these things. Even how many wives really compliment their husbands beyond saying, okay, maybe thank you for this, compliment them on tax, not necessarily on looks. So when a man goes out there and a lady is throwing all the roses at him based on what she can see as a result of his physical appearance, that alone can disarm a lot of men, even the best of men. The best of religious men have messed it up as a result of compliments that they don't even get at home. And men would think that we don't need compliments. The truth is that every man still needs some level of compliments to be able to maintain his balance in and outside of his home. So it's very important. Women too, this video is not just about a woman receiving compliments. Compliment your husbands. Tell them nice things about them. Don't lie about it. If there are things that you feel a man should change, like somebody told me that, I'm going to allow my husband the way he is. So the way if he used to be 6-pack before, now he's 0-pack. His tummy is very big. Is a gift from God. Let him just be like that. Because the day he starts taking care of himself, he might now other girls might begin to find him very attractive. People feel that way sometimes about men, and I think it's the wrong way to look at a man. If you have a husband that you feel, is a certain way, you can also help him to become better. That doesn't necessarily mean that he will now be running after girls or girls will be running after him. But by and large, compliments are a very beautiful thing. I think it's healthy to know that you look good, but before we get into the entire compliment marketplace, just be sure that you already know who you are, because if you don't know you are beautiful, if you don't know you are handsome, if you don't know certain things about yourself, and you are depending on somebody else to be able to give you that feedback, when they give you that feedback, then it now begins to tend towards a high level of inappropriateness. At the end of the day, you would lose your marriage, you would lose your children, you would lose a lot of things. So it's just very important, in my view, that we're able to manage, this whole thing around receiving compliments and also giving it, Imagine a married man would tell maybe another married woman that your boobs, why will you compliment somebody's boobs? Why? What are you using that for? Or you say, oh, wow, your shape, this dress really brought out your shape. Why would you want to do that? For me, that's already, in some climes, in some countries, that's already grounds for sexual harassment. The things that we may even call compliments, maybe here in Nigeria, that we can use words loosely. In some other, somebody can actually report you in the office for making those kinds of comments about their person or their body. So know where you are. Don't go and say because you're an African now, or you are a Nigerian, or maybe you are from Edo State like myself, and the way we compliment, we can be very open and free with words. You use that with people that do not appreciate that kind of expression, and you travel to another country and you feel like you can deploy compliments the way you see fit, you may just get into trouble. Yeah. Compliment me. Be complimenting me. I love compliments too.
Okay.
At least I've given you several compliments this week. In fact, since last week, I've been throwing a lot of compliments your way, if you've been very observant. And I haven't been complimenting you because I've been complimenting you on the fact of what you are becoming. Like right now, your makeup is really nice. You look beautiful and your hair is well done. I really love your hair. I would have preferred that you allowed the hair to really enjoy its freedom instead of just holding it in captivity behind. You would have allowed it to be free. But I think by and large, you look beautiful. Yeah.
Thank you.
You do not see anything to compliment about me. Thank you. Men are always receiving thank you. Our bag of thank you is very full. A bag full of thank you, but empty of compliments. That's a man's that's the reality for most men.
You've put me on the spot.
How did I have to do
I
that?
will.
You comment in another video.
I will work on this point, and I would see that I improve on it.
Yeah, we'll keep improving. We all need room for improvement. A bag full of thanks, but empty of compliments. I really love that catchphrase, you know.
Because it's on another person, so you love it.
No, I'm just I'm just saying it's a nice way to end this session. Yeah, God bless you guys. This is House of Utterance. Please like, share, subscribe. You can buzz us, chat us. If you need people that can deliver, even in Australia, New Zealand, our passports, what are we using it for? We are open to travel, you know. It's high time we begin to really bring God's love to the nations as a result of conversations that people have behind closed doors, but we're bringing them forward so that everyone can share of our thought processes. We would like to also share out of yours. Have a blessed day.
Thank you.